Welcome to geekoutdoors.com, and on this mobile episode, I'm going to be talking about open source software. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about how open source is not free. Now, if you're not familiar with what open source software is, you're probably using it right now, because if you were using an Android phone, that is actually built on top of the single largest open source community-driven software in the whole world, and that's Linux. Android is built on top of the Linux kernel, and Linux is used to create the Linux operating system, and you've probably seen a lot of videos where I talk about Linux. Now, going back to what open source is, what that means is the programming language, the code, the source code that's used to create it, that is actually freely available for people to look at, to edit, and also to contribute to out on the internet and so forth. So that is very different from proprietary closed source software like Windows 10 or the Mac operating system. Now, my feeling is that this world, it's a place for both open source software and proprietary. So there's not like a one is better than the other. They are just different, and they are needed in the whole industries wherever you're working. However, I'm very passionate about open source software. With that being said, what are some other open source programs that you're probably using that you're not aware of that are open source? Well, if you are using the internet and you're using the Firefox browser, that's open source. That's by the Mozilla Foundation. If you are watching media using the VLC media player, that is open source. If you are doing any type of graphic or photo image manipulation using GIMP, that's open source. And if you're doing any type of office application related stuff using the LibreOffice suite, that is open source as well. And there are countless, many other open source projects that are available that I haven't mentioned or that you're probably using. So with that being said, all of these software, they're not free because every single one of them required a person or a group of people or a whole team to create. They require servers to store these programs, to host all the data. They require web services. They require web hosting. So all of these things require money and they require time. And so with all of that, there's a way that you can help. There are actually 3 ways that I think that you could contribute to the open source community if it's something that you really, really like. The first way, and I think the best way, is to just donate money. A lot of these open source projects, as I just mentioned a little earlier, they have costs involved, okay? And it's very hard for them to remain valuable, remain relevant without money. And so the best way to do that is just donate money. And a lot of open source projects, they do receive donations through PayPal. And so a very easy way to do it. That's the first way. The second way that you can help the community is to donate your time. And it could be something as simple as what I'm doing right now. I am making a video about open source software. And so if you are the type of person who does make videos or media, you could do that. If you are on social media, you could share some of your experiences with an open source software that you really, really like. And then the final and third way that you could help contribute to community, if you are somebody who's really skilled, like say for example, you're really good at programming, you could program all the way down to the machine level, then you could probably help out the Linux community. If you are the type of person who's an excellent, a really gifted designer, you can contribute to the GIMP community. And if you're the type of person who knows a lot about internet technologies, then the Firefox Mozilla Foundation might be a good place where your skills will help out a lot. And so with all of everything that I've just talked about, open source is not free, and it can only remain that way if people who enjoy it actually help contribute, in those 3 ways that I just mentioned, or in any other ways that you see fit. So if there is an open source software or community that you like or enjoy, leave your comments and ideas below. I'd like to know. And as always, I am on Snapchat at Geek Outdoors. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode.
Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.